I was standing at the top of the cliff, looking at a setup that I've only practiced in my living room, and I realized there was no one here to tell me if I was about to make a mistake. I love climbing with friends, but lately, it's been increasingly harder to find the time to go together. And I didn't want that to stop me from climbing outside. Sure, there's bouldering, which I also like, but sport climbing and climbing long routes is what it's all about for me. To be honest, I'm definitely not the strongest climber. Far from it, really. And that's never really been my goal with all this anyway. My goal is to just enjoy whatever it is that I'm doing, and sometimes that includes trying to improve and get stronger. I had also gotten to a point where I had climbed most of the easier sport routes in my area and didn't want to climb them again every time I went out. I wanted to go deeper in some of the harder routes for me and really see what would happen. And it felt like going climbing alone would solve most of these problems for me. So I started researching it. I talked to people who knew more about how to do it than me and tested their setups and decided that I wanted to do this and just bought the gear and started practicing. I didn't really think too much about it beforehand. I had a good idea of how everything should work, but it's different when you're actually there doing it by yourself. The first time, I stood at the top, getting ready to go over the edge. I realized there's no one there to check anything for you. No quick, does this look right? Or you're good. It's just you, your setup, and whether you trust it or not. That first time was really scary and scrappy, but also really exciting. I had spent a week watching YouTube videos on how to do different knots and different anchor setups, but when it was actually time to do everything yourself, I forgot how to do the knots and didn't even remember to bring all the gear up that I needed. But luckily, nothing bad happened. I got back to the ground safely and got the anchor set up properly. It was clear that it was going to be really important to build a routine so that everything goes right every time. And then I set up my devices and started climbing. And all of a sudden, it had been 45 minutes of me just trying moves and sitting on the rope. I wasn't thinking about anybody else's time or talking to anybody but myself.
So I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Well, that's fine. Let's use that. And then maybe this. Let's just stand up here. Okay, so that's how you do that.
It felt less like climbing a route and more like I was trying to understand it. The feeling after that first session was really freeing. I could go whenever I want, stay as long as I want, and really spend time on something without feeling rushed. There are downsides, of course, and it's not for everyone. This style of climbing takes a lot longer to prepare and wrap up a route than climbing with a partner. And like I said, the safety of it is all on you.
So I think one of the biggest things I need to learn is to stop when I'm not tired yet. Because the wrapping up thing, it takes a lot of energy. And if you're tired, you might make a mistake. on that. So yeah, I should definitely keep that in mind for next time.
I don't think climbing alone is better than climbing with other people. That's definitely never going away. I still prefer to climb with friends, but this is a perfect way to practice your route, or when schedules don't line up. The biggest takeaway from that first session was that there's a lot more to this than I initially expected. Not just in terms of climbing harder routes, but how I actually climb and trust myself, and how I spend my time on the wall. And this is something I really want to keep doing and see where it leads. I might do more of a deep dive on how I climb alone later. But for now, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.